The second, Rava Neram, and in English it is over in a minute. So without further ado, I invite our distinguished guests to start the reading.
Why so late?
I went to the shop. Were you sleeping?
Kamachi put the bags near the kitchen. She adjusted the creases of her crumpled sari and smoothed her hair. He went to the toilet.
Shall I make tea?
Sure.
Do you want to eat anything?
No, just tea will do.
He switched on the TV and picking up the remote control surfed the channels. Kamachi brought the tea.
Did you talk to your daughter?
Yes.
And son?
I called him twice. He did not answer.
You're not having tea?
I thought you'll come at 5 and make tea. But since you didn't come, I had that.
Sellamuthu was watching TV sipping his tea. Suddenly he shouted, "Oh!"
What happened?
Husband and wife quarrel. She poisoned both her children and killed herself also. Only 30 years old.
Sellamuthu spent some time talking about the tragedy of the 30-year-old mother and her 2 children.
You go and change now.
I'll go in a while. What happened? You seem to be a bit tired and dull.
I haven't taken a bath or changed.
You rush through your bath to go to school on working days. Now you are on medical leave. So why don't you bathe at your leisure?
It's so boring without anyone at home.
When you are at home, you feel like going to school. When you are at school, you feel like taking leave.
It feels odd to be at home without the children.
It does.
Now the news was about the police searching for a boy who had thrown acid over a girl because she had not returned his love.
The boys like this will be shot in the middle of the street.
There was breaking news about a male teacher who had sexually abused a girl of class 6.
What kind of people are these?
And that to a teacher?
She swept the house, drew a column in front of the house and cleaned the kitchen, and went in to bathe. She came out having changed and stood under the fan to dry her hair.
I can smell the fragrance of your soap till here.
Oh, can you?
He looked at her, as if for the first time.
You look very different today.
What's happened to you? Making comments like I'm different, I'm old, I'm new.
Sellamuthu looked at her slowly, from head to foot.
Madam, looks like there is some change today.
His look had the scent of desire, and Kamachi turned to face him. He was calling her madam after 2 decades, and this surprised her. When they had just got married 21 years ago, he had called her only madam for a whole week. Though she had kind of liked it, she had asked him why he called her that.
That's what I feel like calling you.
After 1 week, he had stopped calling her that, and instead he started addressing her as teacher. Every time he called her teacher, she would ask, "Don't I have a name?"
Of course. It's teacher.
4 months after their marriage, when he knew that she was pregnant, he began to call her Kamachi. Then when he heard that the second child was on its way, he began to call her, "Hey!" And this had been continuing since then. "Don't I have a name?" she asked when he first called her, "Hey!" There was no reply.
What has happened to sir today?
It's indeed nice to call you madam.
She looked at him with surprise. Flicking her hair to dry it, she went to the bathroom. She stood before the full-length mirror and applied a red dot on her forehead. Then she tied the ends of her hair in a small knot.
You look really nice in this sari and blouse. They suit you.
What has happened to this man today? Kamachi wondered as she looked keenly at Sellamuthu. In all these years, this was the first time he had said something like this. He was staring at her without even blinking.
It's just an old sari.
Even if it's old, still looks good.
Are we newly married that you look at me like this?
Then she sat on the floor near Sellamuthu's sofa, her eyes on the TV. He was in the mood to reminisce and spoke about their marriage, the time their children were born, then their growing years and departure for Chennai to pursue higher studies. One event after another. And she nodded as if in assent. The manner in which he recounted those stories and his voice reminded her of long forgotten memories.
It used to be just the two of us before our son was born. Now again for the past 10 days, it's only been the two of us.
Time has just flown. Sellamuthu sounded regretful as he said that.
But you've grayed more.
He did not stop at that comment. He touched her hair.
So what if your hair is grey? Your body is still firm.
What kind of a comment is that?
I'm just speaking the truth.
He stroked her shoulder fondly. It was new to her, his speaking this way and touching her. Something has come over him. She peeked at him from the corner of her eye, and she saw that he too was looking at her. Looks like he's in some mood. She got up to get dinner ready. He had changed into a lungi and sat down to eat.
You look luscious.
He patted her thigh.
Crazy comments.
Right through dinner, he kept patting her and touching her. What is all this, like a newly married man? But in the truth, she enjoyed what he was doing.
Ready to go to bed? Or will you take some more time?
You carry on, I'll come in 5 minutes.
Okay, don't forget to switch off the TV and the lights.
10 minutes, 20 minutes, and he had still not switched off the TV. She rose from bed.
You said you wanted to sleep early.
No, lie down, I'll come now.
You said you wanted to go to school a little early.
You lie down, I'll be there.
She went back to bed without saying anything. Why can't he turn the volume down? It seemed as if nothing could tear him away from the TV. She remembered him patting her and touching her and then got lost in thought. Even half an hour later, he was still watching TV and she lost her patience.
Aren't you coming in?
He stood up as if only then he remembered that he must go to bed. He switched off the TV, then the fan. Kamachi lay down quietly and he did so too after switching off the light. She had been expecting him to say something, but with the lights off, he fell asleep right away. Kamachi thought she too must sleep, but she couldn't. His words, his touch kept coming back to her mind. Shall I move up close to him? She instantly banished that idea from her head. She had expected him to touch her when he came to bed. He had not done that. He had not even asked her if she was sleepy. He was lost to the world the moment his head touched the pillow. Shall I call him? But it would be mortifying if he asked.
Why are you bothering me when I'm sleeping?
She attempted to stop thinking and sleep, but no matter how much she tried, she could not. She wanted to turn over, but if by chance her hand touched him, he might think she was making an overture. It surprised her that sleep continued to elude her. As time passed, Sellamuthu's snores grew louder. The noise bothered her more than being unable to sleep. The house is going to crash with this noise. She had been hearing him snore since the day they got married, but this was the first time it was annoying her so much. What could she do to reduce this noise? She called him. Within a few seconds, the road roller noise started once more. She called him again, no response. She called him again, there was still no response. She was furious.
What is his habit? Going to sleep instantly.
You can sympathize with the woman who drank poison, the girl who was the victim of an acid attack, the people in IT companies who lost their jobs, and the families of women who act in TikTok. But you will not spare a thought for the woman lying next to you.
You can sympathize with the woman who drank poison, the girl who was the victim of an acid attack, the people in IT companies who lost their jobs, and the families of the woman who acted TikTok. But you will not spare a thought for the woman lying next to you?
Blockhead, she said. In her married life of 21 years, this was the first time she had called him a blockhead. She tried to recall when they had last had sex. Why am I thinking like this? She attempted to think of something else to divert her mind from that. But no way. The mind refused to change track. When did we last have sex? The mind refused to go past that question. Why had something she had forgotten for several months suddenly raised its head? In these 21 years, not once had she touched him. She had not even considered it. She had not shown any sign of harboring such a thought. if they had slept together, it had always been at Sellamuthu's initiative and followed from his desire. And when it happened, it was always here one moment and gone the next, as if she was a neighbor's wife. It had always been like that, right from the time they had got married, as if he was in a hurry to catch a train. Aren't I your wife? Why this hurry? He changed, never. Some days she would say, I have just eaten later. He never paid heed. She felt annoyed that even during their intimate moments, he did not listen to her. After she moved away, he would make all kinds of comments.
Cover yourself properly. See, that sari is risen up. And why are you lying on your back? Sleep on your side. You can't just lie in any way you want like a child.
Cover yourself properly. Look at that. The sari has climbed up. Why are you lying face up? Sleep on your side. Don't lie any old way you want like a child. It would make her angry. But she never retorted. She would ignore it, thinking such was his nature. He moved a little and his feet touched hers. She did not move away, thinking he had woken up. The snoring stopped, but only when he moved for a second. The noise started immediately. She wondered what to do with that leg lying on hers. It irritated her, it annoyed her, it angered her. She felt it would be better to drink poison than listen to this din.
So, it would be better to drink poison than listen to this din.
Then she deliberately placed her legs on him. Disgusting! What am I doing? She quickly moved her legs away. She chided herself. Shameless, shameless. The sari looks nice.
The blouse looks nice.
This looks nice.
That looks nice.
And now look at him snoring. She tried to put up with the noise, but it was unbearable. She went into the hall, switched on the light, then the TV, then the fan. 3 or 4 girls were hugging and kissing a young man who was wearing some perfume. Nonsense.
This unearthly hour to watch TV.
When she heard his voice from the bedroom, her anger knew no limits. She did not answer. Now on TV, 2 women were fighting with each other for the favors of a man who wore a lungi of a particular brand. She was fed up and turned up the volume. She was upset. Sellamuthu came out.
What is this? You're watching TV at 1 o'clock in the night. Don't you want to get some sleep?
He went to the toilet. Kamachi sat silently.
Come in.
He said as he returned from the toilet. Then he went to bed, closing the bedroom door behind him. She was irritated with everything. His getting up, asking her to go in, going to the toilet, and then going back to the bedroom. She made faces at him. Blockhead. She glanced at their wedding photo hanging on the wall and wanted to smash it to 100 pieces. Hell! It is hell! Her mind and body wound themselves tight. What kind of a fellow are you? She felt an uncontrollable rage towards him. She threw the remote control on the floor. She walked into the dark kitchen and stood there. Then she went to the toilet. She looked at the closed bedroom door with resentment. She had this urge to lock it from outside. It seemed to her that she was in a house with which she had no connection, a stranger's house. She called him all kinds of names in a loud voice.
Hair gone fully grey.
Big paunch.
Pitch dark as night.
Unclipped nails.
On top of that, he is a teacher. But he helped her in the kitchen. He did not waste a single rupee. If there was a function related to his side of the family, he never insisted that she should accompany him. It irritated her that she really could not find any fault with him. It is like there is everything on the plate. Rice, korambu, rasam, but no salt.
There is much more to this story too. Please do read the rest of it in the book. Thank you.